Hello, folks. It's Bradley J. We're live on Ignore the Machine. That's the name of everything I do these days. And we're here to celebrate the upcoming episode of Come Together. If you don't know what that is, you're going to find out. But this event will be celebrating the life of John Lennon. And let me introduce my guests. I'll start with Chachi Loprete, who is a Beatles authority.
Thank you.
And we have Stephanie Loprete, who's also a Beatles authority. And she's the executive producer of Come Together. And we have special guest superstar this month, this episode, Sal Baglio, whom you may know from the Stompers. And he does a lot of other stuff, too. You might have seen him tour with Jake Giles' band or Beach Boys. Who knows? Back in 1980 or so.
Yeah.
So we have all come together here to talk about this event on the 8th, which I believe is a Sunday. Sunday the 8th at noontime at City Winery. Many folks know the framework of how this works, but many don't. So we're going to go through all that. Who wants to go? I don't want to go to Chachi first all the time. Stephanie, tell us about what these things are.
Tag I made. Come together. Come together. It's a Beatle brunch at City Winery. We're there every second Sunday. And this Sunday, we're celebrating John Lennon's birthday. And so we have Beatle magic, Beatle trivia, Beatle knowledge, Beatle prizes, Beatle performances by Sal Baglio. It's a mix of music, movies, magic, and more.
And if I'm not mistaken, you have a special appearance by superstar May Pang live via satellite.
Live from LA, Miss May Pang will be flying into our big screen and talking with us live. She's going to come visit us for the brunch.
Okay, so let me give you my impressions of these events. First, they're different. Usually you go out to the same old thing. You go to a club and you see a band and that's it. Or you go to lunch and you eat some food and that's it. But this is both. And, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. It's really cool the way this comes together. And on stage, what goes on is even more exciting than we can explain, because it's a real pro show that moves, and there's something different going on all the time. Some Beatles magic, a prize giveaway, some rare Beatles footage, some Beatles music. And Sal, you're going to be doing the John Lennon music this time, and I've seen you. You're so good. Thank you. We all thank you for doing this, because it really adds another great dimension. Are you going to give us an idea of what songs you're going to play? How much do you want to disclose about what you're going to do? I don't want you to.
Yeah.
You can tease it, I guess.
I'm going to do a couple of John Beatles songs and some solo Lennon tunes as well. I've been thinking about that a little bit. I wanted to change it up from the last show I did there, but boy, those songs are pretty good too. So, last time I was there, I think I did Strawberry Fields Forever, Happiness is a Warm Gun.
I don't see how you can be so good, actually. I don't see how
so good.
One person can just take a guitar and be that compelling on stage. You are really super duper good. How do you must get nervous? How come how do you not flub a note? You didn't make any mistakes last time, and I don't see how that's possible.
Oh, well, now you've cursed me, Brad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up.
Oh, curse you, Bradley J.
Yes, I curse you. Chachi and I were talking about being nervous before we play. Chachi had a great line that Tony Bennett told him about being nervous. What was that, Chachi?
I'm ready.
Well, yeah, Tony and I were talking about when he goes on stage and things I do on stage. And I said, Tony, I get so nervous. And he told me, hey, Chooch, if you're nervous, it shows that you care. So there's nothing wrong with being nervous.
But what you do, Chachi, no offense, is easier than what he does, right?
Oh, so much easier. Yes.
We care a lot.
Yeah, we care too much.
Yeah. That's what we do. We care.
And I wonder if John Duke Logan, the Beatles magician, John, I don't know if you're still watching, I wonder if he gets nervous, because it would be awful if an experiment didn't work, because it could flub. It could go wrong. And what do? There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Just oh, you
Well,
know,
he's currently on tour with Malcolm Mitchell, Patriot Malcolm Mitchell, for children's literacy down in the South. But currently, that's why he's not joining us. But yes, that's the magic of John Duke Logan and John Duke Logan's magic, because he doesn't let it show. But there's
right.
every bit of all kinds of thought and amazement, because when you see the trick, you're like, how did you do that? How did you do that?
And when he's down there, he can work on new material and try it out
Always was.
for the home crowd. So he
And
has
Mhm.
it.
I will tell you, Bradley, I have it easy. I get to enjoy what I do, and Sal has to think about the songs he's playing, the key that he's singing in. John
I know.
Logan has to think about magic. So I don't
I
know
know.
how they both do it. For me, I just walk out on myself. I
I
talk
know.
about the things I know.
Right. And when you do your thing, nobody's gonna say, "Boy, that Chachi's not that good." But
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
when you're a
Please.
musician, everybody's judging you, especially when you're doing cover songs. Jeez, oh, he shouldn't be doing that. He's not good enough. But you are good enough, and you carry it off every time. Prizes. We spoke about prizes. Do we have our prizes yet? Do we know what we're going to
Yes.
be giving away, or you are going
Yes.
to be giving away?
We will have original Beatles and John Lennon vinyl, provided, of course, by Cheap Thrills Music and more of Dedham, Massachusetts. We have some Beatle books that we're giving away, some brand new books that just were released. We have a copy of the new May Pang Lost Weekend DVD autographed by May. We're going to be giving away. We have tickets to a Beatles show coming to the Wilbur Theater on January 9th, called All You Need Is Love, a 60th Beatles anniversary, with a bunch of different session players joining together to play Beatles music. So then we have tickets to our next come together. So we have a lot of prizes.
Good. May Pang. You mentioned May Pang. When she came to City Winery for her art show, and thanks to you guys, I got to meet her. I'm sure you. And it's the same with a lot of famous people, but man, she was nothing like I expected. She was so regular. She was just she was kind of New Yorky. She wasn't very LA-y. She was more New Yorky and just matter of fact, treated you like a normal human being, which I thought was very cool.
Definitely cool. She's just somebody that you just really want to hang out with and just have fun, and you know it's going to be a great time. She is. She's so like down to earth, but like whip smart and fun at the same time, with the best of everything.
So let's get down to the grit of this thing. Where is it again? It's City Winery, which is near Haymarket. Unfortunately, there are no big signs at City Winery, so you can't see it very well, right? It's there. You got to know the address, and if you go peek in the window, you can see what's going on. But what I basically do is I go to Haymarket and come out the door, and then go left towards South Station, like a block, and that's basically where it is. You can put it in your phone and find it. You can put it in your phone and find it. But I do wish they'd have at least some sort of sign like City Winery with flashing neon, so you could drive by and see it.
Yeah, the
It's a huge place.
signage is a little low key,
Right.
But
but
it's a huge place inside. It's
Yeah.
like
It is.
Yes.
It's bigger on the it is bigger on the inside than on the outside. Sal, we'll get to what's going on there as far as food and stuff in a minute, but first, back up, Sal, and make me understand how exciting it was in those early days. You're a dude from, let me guess, East Boston, and you're just like so many other dudes who are I'm gonna get a guitar and I want to be in a band, and about most of them don't. You did. What was this? What was the thing that took you from being one of those hundreds of thousands of dudes that don't do anything to being a dude that did? Is that just who you are? Was there a break? Did you see somebody on TV that was super inspiring? What made you the guy that went for it?
I just think it was the way it was supposed to be for me. Uh, Maybe I manifested it. I don't know. I loved music before the Beatles. Even I remember AM radio. My dad played guitar. I had an older brother who was a musician. My grandfather. So there was a lot of music. So I loved it. Then came February '64. I saw the Beatles on a black and white TV. I was, I don't know, 6, 7. That summer, my brother took me to see A Hard Day's Night, and that kind of gave me focus. Like, I'd like to do that, and that's
But did you think you could do it? Did you think
I
I can do
believed,
that?
I believed completely
Okay.
that I could. Did I? Well, I didn't become,
No, you did. You
I
did.
didn't change
That's cool.
popular culture, but I've been very, very, very fortunate that I've made my life playing music and writing music. It's
So
great.
you had some great experiences. We mentioned Jay Giles and Beach Boys, but you must have been able to travel to a bunch of places and meet a bunch of people and have great experiences, right?
All over the world, Bradley. Yeah, I was lucky, fortunate enough to play the Cavern Club in Liverpool 3 times with not with the Stompers, but with my new band, and that was wonderful. And yeah, I've also toured a lot with. Everyone knows Tom Hambridge. Everyone's friendly with Tom Hambridge. I played in his band for many, many years, and still do when he calls. And yeah, we've toured all over the place with many, many different bands. The Beach Boys tour, it was just crazy because I was such a fan of Brian Wilson and Carl and
You must have been
Dennis.
nervous then, man.
You know, yeah, I guess
At
I
least,
want
okay,
to tell you what,
before the gig. Once you start the gig, you're probably not nervous, but before the gig, you must be nervous.
getting up there and doing it. I think I just was excited to be there, and I felt that I belonged there,
Oh, good.
and I was. But I'll tell you, Carl Wilson came up to me one time before their encore and said, "Sal, you want to come up and sing Barbara Ann with us?"
What?
And I looked at him. I must have stared at him a long time because he says, "You don't have to if you don't want to." And I'm like, "No, no, I want to." It was just surreal, It was a surreal moment, and I was nervous, and I went up there and sang on a mic with Carl, and it was like an out of body
Wow.
experience.
So we'll get back to the event coming up in a minute, but I have one more question. DJs have dreams, probably pretty consistent, pretty much the same, involving the record's almost over and I'm in slow motion and I can't get another record and how someone help me, dead air. But musicians must have some sort of musician dream. Like, what about this bad dream? You get there to do the gig, you do the gig, and then Carl Wilson comes out later and says, "Oh, you guys really weren't as good as we thought. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to send you home." Like, do you have bad dreams like that?
I think the bad dream is that it's time for you to go on stage and you can't get to it. There's
Okay.
this crazy thing of like, I gotta get on. They just said,
And you,
welcome whoever, and they can't get on.
it's like you're walking through water, like, oh, gotta get up
Exactly.
there. Let me up there. Okay, we mentioned that you can eat during the gig on Sunday
Sunday.
at noon. You said somebody said brunch, but it's just regular lunch menu, right? Not that's as I understand it.
They have a whole tasting menu and wine pairings and
Okay,
shareable plates and all kinds of like burgers, risottos,
right.
interesting salads, all kinds of neat stuff like that.
So here's how it's going to go, folks. You're going to wake up in the morning. You're going to take a shower and get ready. Put on your nice duds. You're rocking duds, and you're going to come down to City Winery, and come together, multimedia Beatles experience. You're going to see some Beatles magic. You're going to have a shot at some prizes. You're going to see some rare footage of the Beatles and particularly John Lennon. Probably you're going to get to see Sal perform, and he's going to blow you away. And then it's going to be only like 2 o'clock, and you can go maybe to the North End and get a coffee or something like that. It's going to be a great day. You didn't have to rent a hotel room or fly on a plane. It's going to be fantastic, right?
That is correct, Bradley. It's a lot of fun. This is Sal's second time on our show.
Right.
People loved him the first time, and I told him yesterday, when we were planning John Lennon's birthday, which is probably the most important date of the year, Sal's name came up first. I have such admiration for Sal, one of the greatest frontmen in rock back in the day with the Stompers, and BCN always supported the band. He played lunchtime shows, and
Yeah.
people know the name Sal Baglio. And we were on Fox 25 News, morning news with Gene Levanchi the other day. And
Gene. Hi, Gene.
Yep.
Big
And-
fan.
and-
Big fan.
Yep, and Sal has his other band, the Amplifier Heads, and he does shows with Alan Estes and John Butcher, if I get
Right.
that correct. He's playing the night before at the Spire in Plymouth. So he has a late gig on Saturday night, and then he has to get up early on Sunday and come in to the Come Together show and perform for another audience. And he's so generous with his time, but I tell you, everyone in the audience is so grateful to see him and to have him in our life.
Yeah, folks, you're going to be, there's no way you can know how good he is. Just, sitting here chatting. You're going to go, oh my God, that guy's good. Okay, don't want to keep everybody too long or anybody too long, so we'll wrap it up here, save something for the gig. It's Sunday. Why did I say Saturday? Because the last one was Saturday? Or something? There was one
One
on
of them
Saturday.
was Saturday,
Yeah.
but predominantly Sunday for the rest of the time.
Put that out of your mind. Forget Saturday. It's Sunday.
Sunday, October 8th,
And
12 noon.
Right, and we're celebrating John's birthday, which would have been on October 9th. He would have been 83 years old.
Amazing.
That must have been a sad day for you guys, man, when he was assassinated. Jeez. I mean, you were always a huge Beatles fan. How old was he when he died?
40.
40.
Man.
You know, what happened that night is I was out at Jonathan Swift's seeing some band, and the news came down. And I ran out to a payphone, it's 1980, and called Oedipus, who was on the air, I believe. And I says, is it true? And he says, yes. I said, can I come up there? I need to be somewhere where the music is, and he said, yeah, come up. And I spent the rest of the night up at BCN, just hanging out, just.
Wow.
Well, that's a nice, good story.
Yeah, I
Just-
always thank him for that, because I mean, I couldn't process it, like many people, I just couldn't process.
Was it just the two of you up there?
No, it was, he was doing his show, and Steve Gilligan, the bass player from the Stompers, was with me, and whoever else was up at the station, helping out. And he would say, like, what songs should we play? What songs mention John Lennon? I was like, well, you got the Ramones. I think that was out. Wasn't that out? No,
It's
no.
It's a good thing you were there to help out, actually.
That wasn't. It was a T-Rex tune. John Lennon Knows Your Name, and I've seen his Ballrooms of Mars. Yeah, we had a good time, and I always thank him for that, because it was a good place to be.
And Bradley, the irony is, while they were there, I was home in Cambridge, and I had my cassette player, and I was taping BCN all night. So just a few feet away from me is a small pile of cassettes that I taped from BCN that night that John died.
So you were working there at the time, right?
No, it was 1980. I was working at Polaroid.
Really? So you only got there a little bit before I did.
I started in 81 as a volunteer, got hired in November of 82.
Wow. That's cool. By the way, we mentioned Oedipus. For those of you who don't know, he was the program director of a big rock station in Boston, WBCN. That's our common experience, Chachi and everybody, and Steph and Sal too. Well, we'd love you to come and see us all on Sunday at the City Winery for Come Together.
Now, I do want to add, Steph, who's the guest MC for this show?
Oh, yeah, that's the most important part. We have
Right.
our MC, Mr. Bradley J.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. You know what I love? I love the whole, as you know, you can see it. I love the whole pre-show tension.
It's the best.
And I got to tell you, introducing bands is such a rush, and it's so cheap. It's like a cheap thrill because I didn't have to practice. Introducing bands is great. You go up on stage, everybody, but I did not have to spend 10 billion hours practicing and lugging gear around like musicians. I get off easy. Okay, I got to stop talking. It's a lot of fun.
Everybody loves Bradley. Now that's very efficient. Everybody, you get that because everybody loves you.
Everybody
it's like
loves-
the best.
That's
Takes
true.
it right off.
And Bradley, we remember the channel days, as does Sal, but it was a little different for us MCs at the channel, right? Because they would tell us to come in and MC. We'd go up on stage.
And one big difference is we got paid. That was
Right.
one.
So we didn't see the band. We'd go right to the box office, get paid, what, 150, $100 in cash. And it was like the
And
greatest
get
thing.
beer and get free beer
Free
and,
beer,
and some
free
adulation and some attaboys and hang out.
attaboys. Then go to Whalers.
What's
and
better
spend-
than that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. People, the Doug DJs, because they kind of live through us. Like, really, someone can really do that for a living? Really? You don't have to lay bricks or make widgets. So,
Right.
anyway, okay, I better end it while it's still good. So we'll see everybody at
Always good.
City Winery at noon on Sunday for Come
Rolls
Together.
at 11, citywinery.com/Boston, cometogetherproductions.com for info.
All righty. Thanks, Sal. Thanks,
Thanks,
Chachi.
Sal.
Thanks, Steph. We'll see you then.